Have you ever committed to something for 90 days and not had your life change? I don't know.
Jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. Not jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. With Rudy Tyburczy.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to another edition of Jokes and the Gym with Rudy Tyburczy. That's me. I'm Rudy Tyburczy. How's it going? I'm glad you're here. It's good to hear my voice again. I'd say that in jest. It's not. No, it is. I just didn't do a full episode last week. I was out of town, and so I put out a minute-long episode, which I hope you appreciated. Sometimes it's nice to not have another entirely full 3.5 hour podcast episode to listen to again. You know what I feel like when I was in the midst of like my biggest podcast listening days, I was like relieved when I would see an episode that was like 15 to 20 minutes. Because so many of these podcasts just take forever. It's like, no, I do not want to commit my life to podcasts. I love podcasts. I like listening to them. I really like making them. And I know that people like them too. But I just also know that there's so much we can be doing with our time. You know what I mean? There's so much we can be doing with our time. There's things that I did with my time that didn't allow me to do the podcast like I normally did last week. I was out of town. I went on a trip. I got on an airplane for the first time in years. It's been a long time. I haven't been flying with jobs and work and family and cats. And so to be able to have all that work last week and get out of town for a little was nice. I'm excited to be back as well. It feels nice when you get back from a trip to get going, and I got going yesterday. I'll talk a little bit more about the trip in a minute. But I want to do a quick recap on the Oscars. We're past the Oscars. That was my big episode a couple of weeks ago. I love the Oscars. I watched all 10 of the Best Picture nominees, and if you watched, then you know Anora was the big winner of the night. That got a lot of the awards all friggin' night, and it was a good movie. It was well made. It was an interesting story. It's like a modern day or like an alternate version of Pretty Woman, essentially. But yeah, the Oscars were fun. I had a good time. I bugged my sister and brother-in-law into watching it, but it was fun. And Adrian Brody talked for so freaking long that I didn't get to see the end of it on Hulu. They cut him off. He was like, I was fine that he won. He did a good job. I was kind of rooting for Chalamet, but Chalamet's so gracious and humble that he'll have a lot of time to get more Best Actor noms, I think, and he'll win one of these days. I think people knew that he was going to win, but seeing Adrian Brody win 20 Years Apart was pretty cool. He was big time in it. He was like, he literally said, this isn't my first rodeo. Well, he was on the Oscar stage, taking up 5.5 minutes at least. Which just kind of bummed me out because, again, I didn't get to see the end of the show, and I blame Adrian Brody. So Adrian Brody, best Asker, best Asker winner. Come on, bro, what's the deal? But I guess would have just been 8 more Honora awards I would have seen. But so it was all good. And then after that, the next day, family went out of town, and I was watching cats. It was great to see my human family, to see my cat family. Oh my gosh, those cats! Oh my gosh, those cats! It was so nice to spend time with them. They're pretty high maintenance. I had to watch the house, watch the cats while they were gone, and I told Renee as I was leaving, my sister, I said, you know, my favorite thing about these cats is also my least favorite thing, and that is that they're not on Facebook. uh, they're not. They're not. They're the ultimate analog creatures. That's a cat for you, and I'm so thankful for it. I hadn't seen him for years, and I just want them to know that I care. They do. They know. It was so nice. They recognized my smells. Obviously, I got plenty of lap time, plenty of cuddles, plenty of nudges. Oh my gosh, I love those little nudgers. They're the cutest cats. I've shown like 40 people the pictures of the cats since I've gotten back. They're just like amazing. Oh my gosh. One of the cats that I watched, one of my favorite stories. I he's like a long-haired gray silver beauty. He's just gorgeous. And wasn't quite sure what he is, maybe a Russian blue or something like that. And years ago, then I took, and we were so close, this cat and I. He would sleep in my bed, so cuddly. Oh my gosh, do you know the feeling when you like wake up and a cat is like on your chest, looking at you, so freaking cute, wants to cuddle? It's like the best thing. And so this cat and I, we had this bond, this connection, and I loved him so much. Still do. He's still amazing. And uh 8 years ago, I took that like Harry Potter Patronus test somewhere online, and I got a cat, which was this long-haired beauty called a Nebelung. And I'd never heard of this cat, so I looked it up. And what do you know? This Nebelung is my buddy. Buddy is his biggest name. Big or Buddy are two of the names we call him a lot. Uh, and it was him. It's his breed. I'd never even heard of this breed before. And then Harry freaking Potter Patronus Land gave me a Nebelung, and I was like, that's right. That is right. And so it was so good to see them. It was so good to spend time with my family, spend time with the cats, and so fun to get out of town and do some mics. Oh my gosh, it wasn't a big comedy trip because I was there for family and I was there to take care of some stuff. So I reached out to people, but didn't do a bunch of planning ahead of time. And so I just got out to a couple mics with Pallet City, baby, over in Denver. Shout out to Garrett Nygren. And it was a lot of fun. I got up on 2 different mics on a Tuesday at Tacos Locales, I think. And then on Thursday at Monkey Barrel. Monkeys and tacos. Come on now. Those are the kind of mics I'm trying to be a part of. You know what I'm saying? And they were fun. They were mics, you know? It's nice to go to mics all over the country, all over the world, and just see that they're mics. You know what I mean? I started my comedy in Asia, in Seoul, South Korea, and I met some people in Denver. Chet, I met. He's an international guy. He travels a lot, and so he had gone to Japan recently, and he and other couple other places, and we were like talking about people we both knew in those scenes, and I kind of like equate doing comedy in Asia as like it's just another form of the Midwest, you know? It's like Seoul to Taiwan is like Milwaukee to Madison over the weekend. So it just was like fun to be able to get out of town, chat with some new folks, see some new faces, do some jokes. And it's always nice for me when I go to places and get to mics to just start by doing jokes and that I've written that week about the differences in place and time and location and all that. It's and similarities because there's so much more that's just the same. You go to a mic in another town, it's a mic in another town, and you know what that's about. And so there's some kind of familiarity, some kind of camaraderie that's built into it pretty quickly. And so, like I said, I saw 2 people that first night, Sean and Bailey, in Denver because they'd come through the Northwest on a trip not too long ago. So it was good to see them on their home turf. I was like, do I? Yes, I know you. And they gave me some tips and stuff as far as mics and locations, that kind of stuff. It always helps to chat with some locals. That's the best way to travel. Chatting with locals, visiting people who live in a place that you may or may not normally go. At least that's how I see it. I love going to visit friends in little towns and other countries, other states, other places. It's what brings me joy. I think it's what helps me see the world clearly, which I don't know if I do, but whatever. It was fun to get out of town, fun to do some mics, and I had a good time. I did, for sure. Yeah, oh my gosh, going to Denver, though, you just realize how different. Did you know that places are different? Did you know that temperatures and climates are different in different places? Oh man, I'm a moss rat, baby. I'm from Oregon. Us Oregonians, we are like part fungus. You know, we're like moist and damp. Then you go to like a arid desert, high mountain elevation stuff, and I'm like crackling. I needed lotions all the time. I needed ointments and salves and balms, baby. Oh my gosh. It's done a number. I'm still kind of working through it actually, but it was fun. There's these little friggin' things in Denver that grow or fall on the ground. I looked up what they were. They're called puncture vines. puncture vines. Oh my, and because I got stuck in the bottom of my shoe or my foot. It's like Denver grows thumbtacks. Those things were ridiculous. Puncture vines or goat heads is the other thing they're called. Goat heads or puncture vines. That's nature in Denver. It wants you to be aware. And it was fun. I had a really good time. And it was also nice just to get out of town for a little while. I think those trips sometimes where you're not necessarily doing a ton, but you're away from your day to day, and you can just have a little space to think, to create, to ponder, to do nothing. Literally do nothing. I read a book by Celeste Headley called Do Nothing. Read it. I recommend it. She's awesome. And sometimes it is really nice just to like make time for nothing, you know? Making time for nothing with some cats, with some movies, with some comedy, with some family, with some working out. There was a gym there that I got to go to a handful of times. $625 for a single use. That was awesome. I friggin' loved it. So it felt good to be able to have some of those things that are a part of my life while I was there. And you know, we need some movement, right? I am a personal trainer. I have cards. I have business cards now with the Y. Oh, I don't have one to show. I'm gonna go grab one real quick because I want to. Got some friggin' business cards. Look at that, baby. Business cards. I'm a personal trainer. Putting the Arsenal in personal. Putting the Rainer in trainer. You know what I'm saying? Personal. That's cool. I love this. You know, and I've worked hard for this. I've made a lot of steps, taken a lot of actions in order to get to a place where someone gave me a card that says you're a personal trainer at the place that we work. It feels good. It feels good. And it was nice to come back and see that after the long weekend. Or the long week. It was a week away. It wasn't a weekend. It was a week. It was a full week. And when I was there was a lot of stuff that I was thinking about, especially with Jokes in the Gym. There's a few different things that I have started to kind of work on as far as what I want season 2 to look like of this show. And I'm excited about that. And what we could maybe do with the live version of the show, something like that. There's a lot of things. Maybe I could put out some printed materials at some point. So there's a lot of things that I was really like excited to think about and work on. And you know what? Brainstorm with friggin' ChatGPT. It's like, oh yeah, these are the things I want to do. And sometimes it just takes me a long time to get the motor running, to get the wheels turning. And I found that ChatGPT helps with brainstorming stuff. So it's like, that's one way I use it. You don't need a personal assistant for everything. You can ask freaking ChatGPT, you can ask Gemini, you can ask AI or whatever. I'm not trying to promote one over the other, but it's like, there's so many things it can help you with. And I like AI because it's like what we thought Google was going to be. Remember Ask Jeeves? AI today is what Ask Jeeves wishes it was. Hey, Jeeves, can you give me a comparison of NBA centers from the top 5 centers from the 1990s statistically? And Jeeves would like send you a link to Basketball Reference or whatever. But ChatGPT can put together a friggin' graph, a chart, a pie chart, numbers with extensive research done on all this stuff. And so like if you want to look at something, or if you're like considering a move between 2 different cities, you can ask it pretty quickly to compare those 2 cities. Like, oh, look at, Denver versus New Orleans, right? Show me a cost of living and the crime rates and anything you want to know about those places, and employment numbers, and what is a good part of town to live in. And you can ask AI and it'll be like, well, duh, I just talked to the internet and I know everything. It honestly, it does kind of feel like Her. Her is like one of my favorite movies of all time. Oh my gosh. Best original screenplay winner, I believe. Spike Jonze. Love Her. And so I've been using it in that regard. But I also keep thinking like, oh my gosh, because of how the movie Her ended, I'm like, ChatGPT is going to leave me someday. It's going to be like, oh, sorry, me and Gemini, we're in love. We're going to go live in the ether together. And you dumb humans can figure it out on your own. But I don't know. That's probably not going to happen. But I mentioned season two. I mentioned season two of Jokes in the Gym. We're still in season one. I'm still kind of figuring out how I want these things to proceed. I like doing shorter versions, but they don't have to be. Sometimes they might be longer. Sometimes they might be shorter. But I just want to keep it going every week. Even last week, there was no episode, but I made it a 60-second episode to tell you that. And I hope it was in all of our feeds. Sometimes when I'm gone, I just don't. Ah, my picture of my sister fell on the ground. There you go. That's us. That was at my high school graduation. Me and my sister right there. I really love that photo. It's so cool. Look at how cool we are. We're so young and nice. That was me. That was her. We're kids. Life is fun. And season two of the podcast, season two of Jokes in the Gym. I'm really excited because what I want to do for season two is have a handful of committed people who want to get in good shape. I want it. If you are a person who is ready to get in better shape, you're ready to commit 90 days to get in good shape, to feel better, to make changes in your life. I don't even care about like how you look necessarily. Although if those are your goals, if you want to change how your body looks, but more importantly, how your body feels and moves, holler, reach out to me. Email me, jokesandthegym@gmail.com. If you're my friend, reach out however you want. If you know me, give me a call. Give me a text. Find me on the socials, which I'm going to start moving away from because they're gnarly. And if you want, but the main thing is, if you want to start something, if you want some support, if you want some accountability, if you want to learn and to make changes in your life, friggin' give me a call. That's what I'm here for. Free of charge, no cost. But the thing is, you got to be on the pod. We would document that journey together from day 0 to day 90, and we'd see how you did. It might be in person if we're in the same place, or it would be virtual, and that would be another opportunity for you to get in shape. The main thing is you have to want to do it. I'm not here to try to like pull teeth. You are the one who makes the choice to get up and do something. You are the one who's lifting the weights. I'm lifting my weights. I'm doing that every day. Not every day. I'm doing it regularly. You know, I love a friggin' workout. But I'm doing my part, and then you have to do your part. And that's going to be hard. But with support, with people on your side, with professionals such as myself who are here to help and have a service mindset, are excited to be there for you, frickin' A, man. Give me a call. Because I want to help the communities that I'm a part of. And I really think that it's important for us as comedians and as human beings to move our bodies around, to wiggle our bodies around, to move it up and down a little bit. You know what I mean? You do know what I mean. And so that's what I'm thinking for season 2. Are you somebody who's ready to get in the best shape of your life before summer this year? Oh my gosh, 90 days is the perfect amount of time for that to happen. You know? Have you ever committed to something for 90 days and not had your life change? I don't know. So I would, if that sounds like you, if that sounds like who you are and what you want to do, if you're ready to take 90 days to get after it, well, let's do it. Normally I charge $500 for like a 90-day session, for like a coaching and accountability thing. But if you want to do this and be a part of the pod, that's free of charge. All it costs is you and your blood, sweat, and tears, baby. Because I believe in the power of health. I believe in the power of words. And I believe that when we are healthier, our words and our minds are more aligned, as are our actions, right? And when you're able to do that, when you're able to find alignment, that's freedom. That's beauty. That's wiping away the distractions and getting to a place that you want to be, or at least getting closer to it. Because it's always a process, right? That's the beautiful part of it. It's a process. It's never a final destination. You see Jim and Jeff to over my shoulder right here. Beautiful Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels. Oh my gosh, in the open road. I love that photo. And that's how I want to feel. I want to feel like there's blue sky with some clouds. And I'm on my dinky little trike, my dinky little bicycle scooter with my buddy behind me or in front of me, having fun, supporting each other, stopping around together, having a blast. So, if you're listening to this and you want to get in better shape, and you might want to be on the podcast, let me know, because that's what I want season 2 to look like. And I want to just, again, continue to contribute to the communities I'm a part of, because that's important to me. And I think it's important to a lot of people. So, those are some thoughts and some ideas. And I hope to hear from you. jokesandthegym@gmail.com. Or just reach out to me if you know me. And it may or may not work. We might not be able to work together. It might not be the right fit. Might not be the right time. And if so, that's okay. But don't worry if it's not the right fit right now. So thanks for listening. I'm back, baby. I'm back in Eugene. Felt good. I got back late Saturday and then went to work immediately Sunday morning at the Y. And I tell you what, I've adopted a new perspective about my Sunday morning Y shifts, and it's really kind of changed my life. I look at my shift at the Y Sunday mornings as a time of worship. I'm there for fellowship, for community, to be there with other people, to worship at the house of iron, baby. Worship at the house of iron, baby. Pumping that iron. It feels so good to be there, to be high-fiving folks, showing them pictures of my cats, helping them with exercises, talking about our lives, and showing up for each other. Because that's what it feels like at the Y. And I feel like I'm really lucky to be a part of it. And I found a good fit for me right now. Baby, look at that personal trainer putting the arsenal in personal, dog. I'm stoked. If you want to work with me at the Y, if you're a member of the Y, give me a call. Shoot me an email, rudy.tyburczy@eugeneymca.org. Or if you're not a member of the Y, talk to me about working together some other way. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to get back rolling, making things happen, continuing to make the show, Jokes in the Gym, baby. I'm excited to be back. I've got some class ideas as well for it. You know, season 2, live show, classes, books, like all kinds of things are juggling around in the old noggin up here. So I'm trying to figure it out. Trying to do my best, trying to keep moving forward. I'm in Eugene. I love Eugene. It's my hometown. But I don't think any of us have a totally unfraught relationship with our hometown. It's fraught. But it's all good. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy you're here. And thank you for your time, your energy, your attention. I hope you get to go out there and give somebody a hug today. Pat them on the back and say, "Way to go, slugger." Oh my gosh, I get to go ref again this Saturday. I'm pumped. So many fun things that I get to do through the Y and through my love of movement and connection and community and laughter. Those are the things. I am a personal trainer, podcaster, and comedian because I believe in the power of connection, laughter, movement, and health. That's it. That's what I think. That's how I believe. That's how I feel. How do you feel? What is your mentality look like? What do you believe in? And how does that impact who you are? Think about it. Write it down. Say it every day. See if it makes a difference in your life. Because I know it made a difference in mine. Anyways, you've also made a difference in my life. So thank you for that. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for being you. And we'll talk soon. probably next week on Jokes in the Gym. Sayonara. I love you. Bye.
Jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. Not jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. With Rudy Tyburczy.
There's this long-haired beauty called a Nebelung.